So I had a few people on the team recommend this comic book to me as just a really great read, and one with some cool first appearances that had some potential. And you know what? I think they are bang on right about this one. Yeah, so let's get into some of the details here. So I think now is the time to buy a Star Wars High Republic Adventures #1 in the CGC 9.8. Yeah, so I want to specify here the variant version in this really cool Yoda cover that really kind of caught my eye right from the get-go. This was one where when it was on pre-order, I was like, oh, that's a really cool variant. Like, you know, maybe at some time this year, it'll pop up on eBay like in 6 months or something, and I can get it for like $60 in the 9.8 or something. And this was before I really knew anything about the story and about some of the great first appearances in this one. Yeah, so this one, it's the great Yoda cover that really caught my eye from the beginning. It's a first appearance of a Lula Talisola, who I think is a Jedi Padawan who's certainly got some potential. We'll get into the story. I got a bit of a story myself about this issue. It's a first appearance of Zeen and Krix, who are kind of best friends. One's like an alien and one's a human, which I think is kind of cool. And it's first Marchion Ro, who is a villain, kind of looks cool, has got like a weird eye, and looking like a pretty cool evil villain. So a little story, a backstory for me. I headed over to my local comic shop this past week, and I grabbed this one here. It's just the kind of the cover A first print of High Republic Adventures #1, and had a read. Certainly, I mentioned there some people on the team recommended this one as a great read. It is a really enjoyable read, a really good intro to Lula Talisola and Zeen and Krix. A great intro, I think. I only read the first issue, so I got to get around on probably online. I'll read the second, and I think there's 4 issues in the Adventures, High Republic Adventures. So let's have a look on the census, though, for this variant version by Yale Nathan. Awesome Yoda cover that I think has some potential to be like, a classic Yoda cover. And the thing about Yoda, you know, they have like old Yoda and like Empire Strikes Back, and now there's like baby Yoda basically. And I think at some point there should be like a young Yoda, teenage, like prime Yoda kicking ass on the big screen at some point. So I just think, you know, Yoda's got some potential. This could be a classic Yoda cover over time. On the census though, 109.8 even in the blue label, this variant version. There's more in the variant version for this book. So I think just kind of maybe hardcore fans of this one kind of is feeling the potential for this one are getting the variant version graded more than this cover A version. So 100 even, 9.8 in the blue label, 96.2% the CGC 9.8 ratio. So almost all of them are 9.8s. Seeing some prices for this one and, making sense at these prices, I think, given the potential and the coolness of the book, some of the first appearances. So one in an auction. It was, I believe it was yesterday that it ended, sold for $112.50. Go back a little bit more, a few selling for $94.99. When this book kind of really hit hard, I think there was some people knowing the potential as well, and there were a few that had sold for $150. So, you know, making it now is the time to buy kind of video. I think, you know, when they hit really hard and they were a bit hotter, the 9.8s were around $150. Now you're seeing some sales under $100, $94.99. I think there was an auction that it even went for less than that. Maybe about a few weeks ago type of deal. So there's maybe a little bit of a pullback in this one with that potential. I think it's making sense on Star Wars High Republic Adventures #1, and even the more rare variant version is still somewhat affordable in the 9.8 right now. Even though this is a new comic, so you got to keep that in mind. 96.2% of them are 9.8, so there's going to be a lot of 9.8s out there in back bin boxes, but. When you think of Lula Talisola, I was like really impressed. It's kind of, she at the beginning of the story, she kind of shows some doubt a little bit. But then when she's like thrown into action by Yoda, it's like her first kind of, action battle. She totally kicks ass and is like tough. So I could just see her like maybe translating really good on the big screen. I'm not saying that, you want to buy this one because they're going to come out in a movie or anything like that. Don't buy it for that reason. Buy it because you love the Yoda cover. Buy it because it's like the more rare version. And yeah, I really enjoyed the read, as I said. And I think some high potential with the first appearances. Yeah, Zeen and Krix, really cool combo with them too. I think Zeen is from a bit of a different background where she's super powerful with the Force, but is not you know, formally trained as like a Jedi Padawan. So I really enjoyed this story. All right, so yeah, so much so I kind of was really sold on this one. I was glad the team had recommended this one to me. So much so that I did get out and buy one of these. Yeah, in the CGC 9.8. Actually, that auction that ended yesterday, won $12.50. That was one I luckily won. It is coming from the United States. Shipping was a little, you know, pretty expensive getting to Canada, but reasonable enough. And I think won $12.50 for the potential of this book. Cool first appearances, Yoda cover, looking awesome. I know I'm just gonna like love the cover of this one, and then loving the read and the potential of the appearances was kind of like the cherry on top. But I just really like this cover, more rare version. So I ended up getting out there and pulling the trigger on this one. All right, team, just, yeah, a quick video today because I feel like this one, it's coming together as a decent time to buy. And, you know, there's some potential with this one just from a collector perspective, and then the characters in the comic are really cool too as well. All right, so thanks so much for watching, team, as always, and I'll see you on the next one. Hey team, if you're liking this content, please subscribe and hit that bell, and I'll keep you updated on future videos.